This series begins on the stunning island of Copenhagen. My understanding of what Bitcoin really is changed dramatically after meeting an amazing guy called Didi back here in 2017. Didi and his family sold everything for Bitcoin and crypto. Back then, there was only one Bitcoin, and a hell of a lot's changed since then. The Bitcoin family are real trailblazers, and I think in the future we're going to see more people using blockchain to really dramatically change their lives. To my amazement, the island's become a real crypto hub.
Nice to meet you, bro.
We're going to check out the crypto communities, meet the influencers,
Man, we're going to get you some tattoos. Yep, you heard it here.
and many of the startups that have based themselves here on the island. We also travel all over this planet, meeting the best people and projects in crypto and blockchain. And of course, we're going to check out the full moon party.
Full moon party, Bitcoin.
I mean, hey, what better place to start than a tropical island? This is it. Welcome to the real cryptos. Bitcoin was given to us by somebody called Satoshi Nakamoto, whether that's an individual or a group, that's still up for debate. Bitcoin was born on the 3rd of January 2009. Obviously, a lot of you know Bitcoin. We've also got Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash came about through what's called a contentious hard fork. Most recently, we've also had another split within the Bitcoin Cash community to what's called Bitcoin SV or Bitcoin Satoshi's Vision. That happened in November 2018. We'll be meeting the people involved in all these projects, teaching you about what Bitcoin is, what the cryptos are, and what blockchain is. Didi's a really important person in the crypto space, and I always enjoy hearing what he has to say on Bitcoin and crypto.
The main reason is to keep your power on your own money and assets. It's to support changing this world, making it a little bit more honest, that people all over the world will be able to participate in the economical system. We are in the early phase of this adopting cycle, and banks know this, and that's why they are stepping in this same world as well, because they see that people like it. I hate it that I have to wait for my money if I want to have it now, and I hate it when it takes 6 days to send my money to my family in Indonesia. I don't like it. There are like 60% of people can't even participate in this economy because they don't have a bank account. They are not allowed to have a bank account. Bitcoin is providing them from a bank account through just a phone. They can participate in this economical situation of buying things online. This will change the world tremendously. 2020 will skyrocket Bitcoin because of all the money that is getting in this market now.
On my first day at the resort, some well-known traders were there and they wanted to know how I got into Bitcoin. Oh my God, this is so difficult to acquire Bitcoin. How do you do this? Where do you buy it? I launched Hardforking, which was all about educating people initially really to, how to buy it. Here's where you get it. Because that was the big problem for most people, Then, bang, this is the best education on economics ever. It was a really amazing experience being in this crypto community and meeting some of the big names in the space. Tone Vays is certainly one of those, especially within the Bitcoin BTC community. Oh yeah, I got to do it!
The kids will wear it. The kids will wear it.
Damn it, I'm putting this on right now.
Put it on. I want to see it.
And I wear that t-shirt on very special occasions. I even wore it that night at the full moon party. That's coming up. Tone Vays is a key figure in the BTC version of Bitcoin. You're going to meet the key people in the other projects. Tone's very scathing of most other projects, but we're trying to introduce the different versions of Bitcoin to you in this episode. It's up to you to decide which you think's the real deal.
Welcome back to Thailand. I have to wear my hat again because of the sun. This is great. That's Didi right there. You won't be able to hear him because we got the mics. We got Sean and his YouTube channel, Hardforking.
This resort had about 40 rooms, and those rooms were always full of amazing people. Some were there just for a night or two. Others were based there for months at a time. People that were based there longer term were typically launching ICOs or IEOs. These are new startup projects. The guys running the resort effectively were sort of incubating these projects and helping launch them. Evenings at the resort were really social. Everybody would meet down by the pool, at the bar, and then head out into the night. The ICO party of 2017 is definitely over. What's happening now are real people and real projects, so I headed back to the resort to meet some of them. George, tell us a bit about yourself.
So I'm a lawyer, I'm an entrepreneur. I am operating in the field of blockchain.
Awesome. George is involved in a project called Blockchain Valley. Blockchain Valley is a smart city being built over 2 million square meters of beautiful land, 30 minutes outside of the Bulgarian capital, Sofia. It will have a business park, university, hospitals, entertainment areas, and residential developments. Most importantly, it will utilize blockchain technology and showcase to the world what's happening in this space right now. That really excites us. Our good friend Didi from the Bitcoin family also told us about this project back in August. He spent 2 weeks with the man behind it all, Nico de Jong. The Bitcoin family and Nico's family got on really well. They both share the same vision for what blockchain is going to do for the world. A strong bond was built, resulting in Nico sponsoring the Bitcoin family's world tour, where they're telling the world about Bitcoin and blockchain. It's called the Sharing is Caring World Tour, with most of the proceeds going to charity. Our interest in Blockchain Valley was further sparked as we learnt that more of our friends who are operating in the blockchain space were also involved in this project. It became clearly apparent to us that this project was something we definitely had to know about, so we got on a plane and we went to Bulgaria. Coming up in the next episode, we're going to meet all the people involved in this project and tell you more about what we consider one of the most amazing things happening in this space right now. But that's a story for episode 2. Back on the island, after saying goodbye to Tonevez and his crew, Didi and I went to meet Chris. Chris is a super cool guy, local resident. He's also into Bitcoin mining.
Bitcoin mining is about solving a puzzle. And the first person or the first pool of persons or computers that solve that puzzle will get rewarded. And this is basically what it is. It's very specific computers that compete to solve a mathematical puzzle. This is how new Bitcoins are created. We actually got 2 miners. We got a Bitcoin miner and Litecoin miner. You can help decentralize the mining part. And that you can do by running a node, and then you run a miner.
What's a node?
So a node means you have the full blockchain on your computer, and you can, if you send a transaction, I mean, this is not normally for people who don't send a lot of transactions, but this is also a way of supporting the ecosystem and say, there's my node, I support Bitcoin. But also out of security aspect, that's going to be impossible to shut down every node, every miner that's up and running. You know, the only place that don't have a miner is probably Antarctica. That's the only continent. What is your thoughts about Bitcoin electricity costs or mining cost?
Let's compare it with money.
Yeah.
How much electricity does it cost to create money?
Yeah. It's not going to cost the country like half of the world's country's electricity to mine. That's just ridiculous. We are part of a financial experiment here that could be the sound money of the future. And I think the price we are paying to make that secure is very little compared to the benefits that we can gain from this.
It's crazy. Oh, he's gonna attack it. Watch out, watch out, watch out.
The Bitcoin and crypto communities spend a huge amount of time attacking each other. This can be a really ruthless space. After all, the stakes are really high with billions on the line. On that note, let's meet someone from the Bitcoin Cash community. Go on then, pitch it to me. Why is it better?
Yeah, sure. So if you read the Bitcoin white paper, it introduces Bitcoin as a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. It talks about a lot of the flaws with previous attempts to create digital cash. A lot of them relied on like centralized entities, which were eventually shut down by governments. So Bitcoin Cash, I think, is the continuation of the ideas laid out in the white paper.
Okay.
BTC, what is known as Bitcoin, did a great job for nearly 10 years. But the developers stubbornly refused to increase this 1 megabyte block size limit. Over the years, people tried to increase the limit through one way or another, and each attempt at doing so was successfully defeated. And eventually, in August 2017, a group of people said, you know what, fuck it, we're just going to create our own version of Bitcoin.
Have you met Craig Wright?
Several times, yeah.
Okay, thoughts? Is he Satoshi? Is he part of that initial core team? What are your thoughts on that one? I'm dying to talk to the guy.
On a personal level, I think Craig is a hoot.
Yeah.
I've drank with him, I love hanging out with him, he's a really fun guy. On a Satoshi level, one, I hate playing the game is he Satoshi? Isn't he? Who is Satoshi?
Yeah. Wow, sorry, I had to ask.
Yeah, sure.
I disagree. I like playing the game. This is one of the biggest stories in the history of the internet. There was a worldwide media frenzy on this when they thought they had found Satoshi.
Why did you create Bitcoin, sir?
Okay, no questions right now. I want my free lunch.
Sir, can we ask you about Bitcoin? Why were you involved in Bitcoin?
Okay, I'm not involved in Bitcoin. Okay?
Who's involved in Bitcoin?
Wait a minute. I want free lunch first. I'm gonna go.
Clearly, it's not Dorian Nakamoto, so I was on a plane to go and meet Craig Wright and try and find out for myself.
Is it Satoshi Nakamoto?
Satoshi Nakamoto?
You know who that is?
I don't know.
Craig, come on.
What is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is a global ledger and electronic cash.
I asked Craig who was involved in the creation of Bitcoin.
I had a lot of help from people, but not as sort of a group as people say.
Right.
Dave Kleiman was my best friend for a long time. He kept me sane. Hal Finney was critically important. Yep. If it wasn't for him, the code wouldn't be working.
Right now, Craig Wright's involved in a court case in the US. The family of his ex-business partner is suing him for half his Bitcoin holdings. The current value of that, if he does in fact have these wallets, would be around $10 billion. We're going to take a really close look at Craig Wright at Bitcoin SV, whether or not he is Satoshi Nakamoto. But next, we're off to the Mediterranean for the Coinsbank cruise. I was super excited to be invited on this cruise. In 2018, the cruise was kind of characterized by a clash between the Bitcoin BTC and BCH communities. I wasn't exactly sure what to expect on this one, but that's all coming up in the next episode.
Look, there's a bunch of people that you hired. How many employees did you bring?
I think that there's around 8 on the cruise.
Okay, they're all here.
Jimmy, calm down. Calm down. Everything's okay. We're in beautiful, Mediterranean with wonderful weather and a pool. Calm down.
No, what he wants to do is poll the audience beforehand. All right, then I am refusing to do the debate if there's 2 mics.
This space is definitely full of drama, but it's absolutely also full of people who are going to shape the future. This series is all about finding those people and those projects. The next Google, the next Amazon are here, and we're traveling the world to find them. This industry reminds me exactly of my experience during the rollout of the internet and the dot-com boom. It's early days right now, and for that reason, we want you to follow this series. We want to educate, we want to inform, and also entertain. That's just the beginning, people. There's a lot to cover here in this series. It's going to be a lot of fun, and the goal is to really uncover the next big thing. Thanks from the Hardforking team. We hope you enjoyed this. Stay tuned.